Okay, so this is the second day that I'm recording, and what I wanted to convey to you guys tonight is late at night, okay? I have some great equipment, but I don't even want to set it up. So there's a lot of talk about the healthcare industry in America, and I used to work in the healthcare industry. I used to work in clinical research. And I owned a company on the side and that kind of thing. The issue that's going on is that there was a time where we could have universal health care for America. And the powers that be decided they didn't want that because at the time, what they were considering, this is late 1800s, early 1900s, there were a lot of African Americans in America. This is after slavery, and the powers that be were trying to eliminate black people in America. And so when they had the opportunity to give all Americans free health care, like most places their size and money and everything, they decided not to do that. And the reason they decided not to do it was because of the race issue. So they figured that if they didn't provide African Americans with the universal health care, that they would die off. Now, I know that sounds horrendous and ridiculous. You're not going to find that in Google. But if you do your research, you're going to find that there was a German person, Ludwig, I forget his middle and last name, but he was from Germany. He wrote a book, and he was invited to America. He was a racist guy. And he advised the powers that be not to give Americans free health care because black people would have access to it. Now, this is the truth. It's a hard truth, and a lot of people won't want to accept this, but if you do your homework, you'll find that this is true. And ever since then, politicians have been fighting against universal health care for those same reasons and others. Because once the healthcare industry started making a lot of money, then they decided to fight universal health care. So now it's very popular in America to not allow people to have the narrative about free health care. Now, if you go right across the border over into Canada, they have a universal health care, and they have it in Europe and in France and different other places like this that have the same type of status that America has. But America refuses to have universal health care, even though we really can. We can afford it. And what would this look like for most businesses? Well, for the healthcare industry, it would just mean that they would have to do business differently. They couldn't continue to do business the way they do it now, but they would be able to survive those who would adapt. Because I'm in a country right now that has free healthcare, but they also have private healthcare. So if people who had the free healthcare decided they wanted to go to a private hospital or a private doctor, then naturally they could because they have the money to afford that. And or if the government offered them free surgeries and healthcare, they can choose to do that. But if there was a long waiting list or something like that, oh, you'll have to forgive that noise in the background. That's fireworks outside. But if there was a long waiting list for a surgery that they wanted to have, they could definitely option out and go to a private doctor. And they would pay whatever that private doctor would charge for that. But in this country, I'm in Malaysia right now, the people who get free health care would pay like less than $1 for that treatment. So that means that they would go to the doctor, get their treatment, get their medication, and they would pay less than $1. And this is free public health care. And the United States is much stronger of a country financially and economically than Malaysia is. And actually, the United States is stronger economically than most places in the world. So for those of you who've been taught your whole life that you shouldn't have free health care, you should consider this. Consider where you got that information from. Who told you that? Who told you that America can't afford that? We pay almost $1 trillion a year for our military alone. And it's not transparent as to where all that money goes. But that is taxpayers' money. And we pay enough taxes for everyone in our country to have efficient, beautiful, wonderful health care without people going broke or bankrupt, without people ruining their credit or ruining their life savings. So you need to start thinking, where did you get that information from? And you need to start thinking of what your government should be doing for you with the money that you're spending every year on taxes. Just think about it.